Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamlah, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Kotas of Zion, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai with another lesson, with another video, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. God, so in this lesson, this GMS news update, I want to go into the fact that Russia tested their new ICBM missile, which is called Satan, the Satan. And I'm going to play a clip, and afterwards I'm going to break it down with the scriptures.
Russia has tested a new nuclear-capable missile. It is called the Satan II. Moscow claims this missile can hit targets anywhere in the world, even the North and South Pole. The missile can also evade defense systems. Vladimir Putin says this new weapon will make Russia's enemies think twice. Is Russia's new weapon a serious threat for the West? Here's a detailed report.
Amid the conflict in Ukraine, a missile took off in northwest Russia. Vladimir Putin says that the new Russian weapon will make enemies think twice.
This truly unique weapon will strengthen the combat potential of our armed forces, reliably ensure the security of Russia from external threats, and make those who in the heat of aggressive rhetoric try to threaten our country think twice.
So what is this new weapon? It is called the RS-28 Sarmat. This is an intercontinental missile, or ICBM. The NATO calls it the Satan II. Russia claims that this missile can fly over the North or the South Pole and strike targets anywhere in the world. The missile has a range of 11 to 18,000 kilometers, and it can carry 10 or more warheads. This includes nuclear bombs. It was widely known that Russia was developing a new ICBM to replace older ones. The weapon will be tested 5 more times this year before it is inducted into the Russian military. Reports say that Russia began developing the Sarmat more than a decade ago. The weapon launches just like a conventional rocket, but it is considered to be much more powerful. An ICBM can target several sites over a large geographical area. Once these warheads on it are released, they fall at speeds of about 7 kilometers per second. The Sarmat, however, could be more dangerous. In theory, it could evade missile detection systems. But Russia's archenemy, the United States, is not worried about these tests.
The Defense Department said today that we did not deem the test a threat to the United States or its allies, and the timing and the scope of Russia's missile tests do not influence our approach to countering Russia's further invasion of Ukraine. So it was noticed through the proper process, and the Department of Defense has spoken to this as well.
Washington is playing down the Russian missile test. But Vladimir Putin seems to have achieved his objective. Once again, he has reminded the world about Russia's military power.
So you just heard them speak about how this ICBM missile is called Satan, right? And that's pretty ironic that they call it Satan. Let me see if I remember correctly. Luke 12. Or was it Matthew 12? Yeah, Matthew 12. So this is Matthew 12, verse 26. And it reads, "If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" So it's pretty ironic that they call this ICBM missile Satan, because basically Russia is they are Edomites also. Russia and America, they are fighting one another, but they are from the same nation. Their biblical nationality is a Edomite. You know, they're both Edomites. And like the scripture says, this red letter, so this Yahweh Shai speaking. And if Satan cast out Satan, so if Satan doesn't want to work together with Satan, and in this case, the Satan-like man, who is that talking about? That's talking about the so-called white man, because Esau Edom is his physical counterpart here upon earth. You know, you got a spiritual demon Satan, but you also have his physical counterpart, which is the so-called white man. You know, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. You know, because they are everything what they do is satanic, man. You know, they have that satanic vibration about themselves. You know, that wicked vibration. So it says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. So this kingdom that Esau Edom has is divided. How shall then his kingdom stand? It's not going to stand, it's going to crumble. Because now you have the Edomites on the western hemisphere fighting against the Edomites on the eastern hemisphere. You know? And that's why this Vladimir Putin, he is boasting and showing that he also has missile capabilities, you know, and that he can reach the other side of the earth also, you know, over the northern or southern pole, North Pole or South Pole, you see, and that is going to carry up to 10 warheads. Let me see, Book of Revelation, I believe 11 speaks on that. No, 9, Revelation 9. This is Revelation 9, verse 18. By these three was the third part of man killed, which the third part of man speaking about Esau Edom, you know, the wicked. By the fire, what fire? The fire that's going to come out these intercontinental ballistic missiles, these nuclear missiles, and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouth. And the mouth, that's speaking about the warheads, you know. For their power is in their mouth, because that's in the mouth of a lion, you know, that's where his power lies. And this nuclear missile and the warhead on the top is seen as the mouthpiece. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. With the tails, you know, they thrust through the air. You know, that's where the combustion comes from. For their tails were like unto serpents, like I was speaking about the combustion. And when you look in the air, then you see a trail, right? Because of the fumes and the combustion. And had heads, and with them they do hurt. God. So out of the mouth, out of the tip of the ICBM missile, he got those warheads, you know, and those are the things that dismantle and drop on top of their target, you know. God. So this woman was also speaking about the enemies of Russia, you know, in the interview. Vladimir Putin said his enemies should be afraid, you know, by him showing off their military capability. Let's see, let's go to Ezekiel 38. Where am I going to start? So I'm going to read a part in Ezekiel 38, because Ezekiel 38 speaks about the land of Gog and Magog, which is the land of where the Japhetic people used to live, and that's called, in this day and age, it's called the land of Russia. So let me just start at 3. Ezekiel 38, verse 3. And say, thus said the Most High Power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, because that's what the Most High is doing right now, you know. Even if Putin doesn't want to really fight America, the Most High is going to cause him to put hooks in his jaws, and he is going to fight He's going to fight this fight against America. You see? And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with swords, so like with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So the Most High is going to make it that Russia is going to go all out. You know, he's going to put everything he has into this war with his enemies. And who's his number one enemy? America. You know, and in the rest of this verse, in these verses, you can read about his allies: Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, which is Turkey, the house of Tagarma. Wait a second. I'll go to the scripture real quick. Let me check my notes. Yeah. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tagarma, which is the land of Turkey, and Persia is the land of Iran. Of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So this is speaking about Russia's allies. You know, Russia is guarding these countries that are not that strong: Turkey, Iran, Libya, Ethiopia. So the enemies of these countries is also the common enemy of Russia, you see. And the Most High made it that this technology is being how do you say it, designed so fast that the nuclear war that is going to happen is not going to last that long, man, because the scripture says within 1 hour, you know, that whore is going to be done away with, that great city, which is Babylon the Great, which is America. Revelation 18 speaks on that. Let me see where I'm going to start. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, verse 9 and 10. This Revelation 18, verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, and who is that her? That's America, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Burning from what? Burning from the nuclear fire, burning from the nuclear missiles, you see, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. You see, so the Most High made it that these scientists made these weapons wherein this prophecy is possible. Within 1 hour, America is going to be completely desolate, you know. And America is also a ticking time bomb with all these pipelines and, you know, fuel tanks and gas tanks and all these things. It's like a ticking time bomb, man. You only need one certain thing to spark it and everything goes ablaze, you see. So let me end it off with Isaiah 54. Verse 16, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So the Most High, he created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And what is a modern day smith? A modern day smith is a scientist, you know, that creates these instruments and weapons, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And what is that instrument that he brought forth? The weapon of his choice, of the Most High's choice, is a nuclear missile. You know, that's what the scientists created in the labs, you see. gone. So with that, I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say Kal Halal Yamlah, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Reka Kodash. Shalom Akim.